Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Ace. We're on to Blackburn. And I was getting excited for it because it's Team Envy's Bunny in the bottom right-hand corner. And in the bottom left, it's Alpha X's Zoun. And I get tingles whenever a team goes to an Ace match and they bring out a player who is not in that starting 3 roster. You know it's good. And Bunny has been lying in wait. He's been ready. He's been on his hind legs to pounce. And this is such an exciting best. It's one match, one game to decide it all. And you know that means it's going to be pretty exciting as Bunny. I mean, every time I cast Bunny, I do nerd out about him. Sometimes it's a little bit much. I absolutely love Bunny. I love his story. I love how far he's come as a player in what I've been casting of him and what I've watched of him before I was a caster. And Zoun as well. I mean, both these players, it's going to be such a sick matchup. I love them both to death. And this is going to be a very, very exciting PvT. Alpha X running with 3 Protoss players. So they pretty much knew it was going to be a Protoss coming into this game. And so Team Envy, they say, listen, Bunny, is your TVP good? And Bunny apparently said yes. So let's see. And you know, Bunny does have some really cool TVP strategies. And I don't know if we're going to see it against Zoun, because I feel like Zoun is the player who will probably have seen Bunny's strats before. And it's not going to be the Cloaked Widowmine into Thor. That's not what we're going to see, because you already have the expansion going down for Bunny. He doesn't have a second gas. So Bunny's not going to be going for that kind of risky build that if it's scouted out and your opponent knows what the build is, they can completely shut it down, which is what that build is. So we're not going to end up seeing that, but that's no confirmation that we don't end up seeing still some sort of Widowmine drop or even Cloaked Widowmines, because I know that is a favorite of Bunny's, is the Cloaked Widowmine drop, and it is absolutely still possible to go into it from a macro standing. But that being said, you do have the Stargate on the way from Zoun, and Stargate is probably the best defensive start for Protoss if you're looking to go into the mid game and transition into the mid game. It gives you the oracles. Your revelations are able to shut down Widowmine drops. Then the Phoenix follow-up can shut down any sort of medevacs that are trying to push or trying to set up drops across the map. It can really slow down the Terran. But Bunny's going for 2 Hellions to start this off. And so we'll see if he continues Hellion production. Usually you don't see any more than 2 or 3 Hellions produced in TVP, just because the longevity of Hellions in this matchup it's very short. It is very, very short. Even if you're going mech to counter charge lots, you can just have Widowmines and tanks will do quite decently enough. So, yeah. We only see the 2 Hellions there to scout, there to get rid of those Adepts. They are meant to allow the Terran to exert a little bit of map control. And then behind it is going to, in fact, be the Widowmine drop. Sorry, as I had to adjust the mic. And so you're seeing 2 Widowmines being produced. You're going to have 4 in total by the time the medevac pops out. It's not going to be with an armory, but it's going to be, enough units that it will be able to, or it's going to be 4 Widowmines as opposed to 3. It's a slight difference. It does look like Zoun scouted it, though. Already had a Phoenix out. And you see there, yeah. Has 2 Phoenix on the map to deal with this. 2 Phoenix is not quite enough to actually shut down the medevac on its own. But Bunny is going to be a bit careful. Only loads up 3. Is going to send this around the long way to try and hit the natural, which I think is smart considering the fact that Zoun knows what's going on. And you have already a Viking in production here to try and fend off the Phoenix if they decide to try and dive in onto any of the mineral lines. Bunny looks like he's going to be transitioning this into a fairly standard game. Cyclone on the way, of course, for the defense. And it's a robo facility for Zoun. Here we go. I don't know if Zoun saw the medevac, but does have Adepts positioned in his natural base with mineral line, just in case, Bunny does decide to go in this direction. Also, love them. If you didn't see it, there are Vikings that fly on the outer corners of this map. They fly through occasionally. It's so cool. It's such a nice touch. Here we go. Bunny just leaving this one to wait. He knows that the drop has been scouted. He's going to delay it for as long as he can until Zoun is not expecting it. So he pushes in with these Hellions. He's cleaning up, you know, probes as best he can and just getting himself out onto the map and scouting out what his opponent is doing. The Adepts should be able to clean up the Hellions, or at least push them back. And you also have the Phoenix that are just hunting down every single corner. As here we go, Widowmine drop comes through. Shots haven't even been expended yet, which is quite nice, but the Phoenix will come through and clean this up. Second or third Widowmine gets a single kill. And yeah, it doesn't get too much damage. Zoun with a great response. Bunny delays mining, and that's about it. It's, you know, it's a slight consolence for Bunny now, as Stim +1 on the way. 3 Marines being produced at a time. But Zoun's already working on Colossus tech. Extended Thermal Lance on the way for Zoun, who has just, I mean, defended this perfectly. Didn't let any damage get done from that Widowmine drop. Only, I mean, lost 1 probe. He's lost 2 probes this game because the Hellions got rid of another. And he's already got Colossus on the way, continuing Phoenix production, so they will be protected in case, you know, Bunny ever tries to get a decent enough Viking count. Zoun will be able to counter Vikings in small numbers. Of course, we did see in the one macro game that Zoun played against Amaru, you know, once you get up to high enough Viking count, those Phoenix don't really matter. But Bunny's not looking for that. Instead, Bunny is looking for this timing attack. It's right around 6:45, and this is the timing attack that Maru actually could have gone for in his first game, just slightly delayed, that he ended up not doing because it was just going to be so delayed and he wanted to get into a macro game. So it is 6:45, Stim, combat shields. You're going to have +1 as well as, here we go, the tank siege gone up. The Cyclone actually adds quite a bit to this as it's able to lock onto those Phoenix or the Colossus. As, ooh, Hellions trying to go on in, roast up as much as they can, not able to get too much done. But oh, this is, oh, Bunny. He was looking to make the most Bunny move you've ever seen, as here we go. Immediate focus fire on to the Phoenix that are lifting up the tank. It's going to continue to get some shots off as Widowmine's coming on in. They get picked on up. Zoun taking a decent enough fight. The Marauders are still alive. Medivacs need to pull back and heal up the army. But a lot of Phoenix go down. The tank is eliminated, and a second Colossus will be joining this soon. But now you have 2 Widowmines here bolstering this. A third and fourth joining as well. I don't think Bunny, though, is going to try and push the issue as next Widowmine shot. And I love Bunny just covering up his tracks behind this. Does he have? Yes, does have a 3rd CC already finished. Going to be probably floating that onto site fairly soon as there it goes. +1 armor on the way. And more Marauders and Vikings being produced. Bunny knows that he's eliminated the Phoenix count, but is Zoun still in a very comfortable position. Has, you know, 4 to 5 Phoenix. Has 3 Colossus, I think, working on the 3rd right now, perhaps. And +1 in charge started up on that research tab. Yeah, Zoun trading efficiently at the start of this game. Bunny's still poking around with this army. He actually might be able to find an opening here to drop into the main. There's nothing positioned for Zoun. I mean, this is a move that Bunny does a lot. Although, just looking to clear up some of the pylons that are sitting, you know, in that kind of dead airspace. Clear up the vision from his opponent especially is very important, as only gets one of the pylons. But you do have the armory finished up for Bunny Ghost Academy on the way. Additional Vikings. Zoun, we got a flash of it there on our screens with 6 more gateways under production and a Templar Archives. Just looking to completely get into this really, really late game as that Marauder. Next pylon. Again, Bunny just being annoying here, making sure that Zoun can't really push across the map at all, and I don't think that our Alpha X Protoss wants to. This is a position where you want to get into disruptors, you want to have time to tech up into your army, but at the same time, Bunny has already actually started a 4th base. Bunny's taking all of this, like, time that he's being given by Zoun. He started a 4th base. He started +2 attacks. He started on his ship weapons already just for his Vikings to get rid of Colossus. I'm actually really liking this position for Bunny. I mean, Zoun's in a great spot. His army does just beat that of Bunny's right now. He's going to have disruptors. He's going to have Colossus. You know, there's not a super significant Viking count out just yet, but it's steadily growing. And there's not a lot of ghosts. So the Templar and the Archons aren't really going to be challenged as well. Bunny stims on in, focuses down the Disruptor. That's a base denied, and a Widowmine even planted to slow it down for even longer. And Bunny's just being annoying all across the map. Zoun, he's gonna have to figure something out here soon. He has a strong army again. It's only one Disruptor. The first one got picked off, but it's Archons, 2 Disruptors at a time. He's got, 3 Colossus. Just not being allowed to do anything. And you're seeing Bunny now positioning up towards this 4th base once again. Wants to cancel it. Doesn't want to let Astrea, or Zoun, why do I keep saying Astrea? Doesn't want to let Zoun have any sort of leverage as dives on top of the Disruptors, manages to snipe it down. Gets another cancel onto the 4th Bunny. Just committing where he needs to. And now it's a 4-base Terran versus a 3-base Protoss. It's a situation that you never want to be in as Zoun. I mean, he's even going to be down in upgrades. I think he only has +1, if I'm not wrong. +1 in charge. Bunny's sitting on +2. His Vikings have their attack upgrades. Yeah, and Bunny's getting on +2 armor as well. This is such a hard situation for Zoun. He's finally going to try and take this forward 4th. This is kind of a last-ditch effort here for him to put himself into a good position, is to take this base that's really suboptimal. Because the Terran can push it so easily. Here we go. This is an awkward position for Zoun to be caught into, but he's segmented the army as, the EMPs are decent enough. Some great dodges away from the Disruptor shots. Bunny, some beautiful micro to eliminate a lot of the threats there for the fight, but the Colossus are still alive. The Disruptors are still alive. It's going to be hard to push this. All these splits from Bunny are so majestic, but he's unable to get rid of the tech units. His Vikings are all dead. There's still Colossus. You still have Disruptors. Some more EMPs go out. Some splits back. Bunny trying to fight this, but he can't stay. He doesn't have all of his army right here, right now. And still those Colossus are so dangerous to fight into. Ooh, Zoun messes up the blink. Takes a lot of damage onto those Stalkers. Doesn't even have an Observer. The Observer got killed. I mean, Zoun's gonna try and push this, and the supplies have even out. He has a Zealot run by ready there. Oh my god, Bunny, he's pulling the boys. I don't think this was the move. 18, 20 SCVs go down. Bunny's trying to fight it. EMPs go down. He's stimming on in. The Colossus are falling. Bunny crushes the fight, but loses 20 workers. He's gonna have to try and seesaw this across the map, kill the 4th base of Zoun, and he's gonna be able to do just that. That Zealot run by didn't go in. That would have been the prime time for Zoun to send that run by through, but I think he forgot about those Zealots. He just doesn't, I don't know if he remembers that they're up there. Because they could have gotten so much damage done. Finally, they're gonna move in, but it's just so late compared to when they could have gone. They'll still get damage done. So we're gonna trace them on the map. Widowmine shot, I think, is what is gonna force them back. Oh no. Warp Prism goes down. Bunny takes a 20 supply lead. Has +3 on the way. His army is just flat, much larger. Zoun does have 5 Disruptors, and that can very much swing the tide of this fight. As Bunny, he's going in, just has no fear. Gets out a lot of Disruptor shots already, just gonna split away from the rest of them. Knows that as long as he can dodge his Disruptor shots, as long as he can bait them out, that is most of the danger here in this army for Zoun. Bunny, he's back on 4 bases. The Protoss has not been able to establish a 4th for this entire game. Bunny has just been doing such a good job of denying it, canceling it time and time again. As the pickups come through, Bunny loses quite a bit there, but gets out 2 full medevacs. And those are just going to pocket themselves away. Liberator's now in production here for Bunny. Going to be getting into that next stage of tech that he needs to try and fight this army that's coming out from Zoun. With more Ghosts in production. I mean, Bunny is just in such a good spot. Zoun might finally be able to get up a 4th, though. The gold base, it looks like it's not going to be challenged unless Bunny just goes in with this drop and cancels it again. Oh no, Zoun's across the map. This is just, it's so brutal. Every time Zoun tries to take a 4th, it's just getting canceled. This is absolutely insane. Another cancel from Bunny. Zoun still doesn't have a fourth base. I've just never seen a Terran be so on top of canceling these fourth bases from a Protoss. I mean, just look at the mining discrepancy. Zoun, I mean, Bunny's mining almost 1,000 more minerals per minute. Sometimes even doubling his opponent's mining. His army is just going to be better over time. Zoun has Liberators out already. You can't push into Liberators with Disruptors. It's so hard to. You see Zoun starting to get a little bit worried here about what to do. Bunny, I mean, 2 Colossus being produced at a time. I don't even know if Colossus are the right call here. Disruptor Novas go out. They get a few kills, but losing a Disruptor for a few Marines is not really worth it. I mean, you can't dive in ever. If these Liberators are in position, you can't try and collapse onto this Terran army. It's too dangerous. Personal cloaking now done for the Ghosts. 9 Liberators on the field. This 5th base attempt should be canceled, but the 4th base has gone up. With that being said, a drop goes in. So many probes go down. And Bunny says, even though you get the base, you cannot mine from it. I mean, still, even despite how much Zoun has been set back, staying in this game, his army is large enough that it can threaten Bunny, but here comes another drop. Bunny can start to focus down the pylons, and that's an Artosis pylon. That's so much production depowered. That is absolutely brutal, and now Bunny's gonna swing his whole army up towards that 4th base once again. He knows that Zoun has to pull back so much just to try and deal with this small drop. It's doing so much damage. And what can Zoun do? The Liberators are sieged. Bunny's coming in. He's reached almost maxed out. He's got a 100 supply lead. Bunny crushes through it in the ace. And Team NV are going to take this away 4-3. The victory pumps from Bunny. You love to see it. What a matchup that was.